voice.
Yep, hello man, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Is my mic okay?
Yep, it's okay.
Okay, so
I,
let's
I
start
guess we're
the video.
gonna wait. We're gonna wait for a while because we're waiting for other participants to join.
Okay, perfect. And once everyone is inside, just tell me so we can test the video and the screen sharing too.
All right, all right.
Alright, just let
I
me know if
actually
you
want
can hear
to
me.
ask you a question.
Yeah,
So, do the participants have to log in to the standoff platform or no?
not really. They can actually, it's a very good thing if they actually sign up and log in. So after they
Yeah.
can try sort of the live hacking, they can try to hack too. If they find any bugs, they have to submit it. Eventually they will be fine. But
All right,
for
all
the
right.
workshop, they don't because I will just like show them the roadmap and stuff. But if they want to try their luck after that, I encourage them to actually sign up and try.
Oh, okay, okay.
I
All
will
right.
also
Thank you.
quickly after show uh, sign up and the big program open for foreigners because some programs are only for Russian. So I will talk to Masha now and ask her if she can, or I will do it myself. So let me call her. I will tell you.
Sorry, what was that?
I was just saying. So I will call Masha from Standoff to ask her if she can do quickly show the participant how to use Standoff because some
Oh,
programs
okay.
are limited for Russian citizens, some are for foreigners like us. So I will ask her. If she can't, I will do it myself.
All right, all right.
Hello, Daher. How are you today?
Hello, man. How are you?
Hello, my friend. I'm good. Okay, so today we are going to have a workshop, and the host for today is with Bayu. Okay.
Okay, okay.
Okay. For today's session, do you prefer to do on cam or not?
Yeah, I will share the video and the screen both.
Okay. Can you do the share screen too? Because I've already gave you the permission.
Okay, so can you see me now?
Ah, nice. Hi, Daher. So right now I'm in my car. I'm still in on my way going to Yogyakarta right now. Where is
Okay.
Bayu? Bayu.
Bayu was talking right now.
Oh,
Wait, wait, wait.
so today the host will be Bayu, and I'll be the participant listening to you, the Code One Master.
Well, it will
Have
be
fun
nice.
there.
And during
Huh?
the PowerPoint, if someone can check for any question in the chat and tell me, so we can answer on the go, it will be nice.
Okay, that'll be
All right,
nice.
So
I'll tell you.
yeah, so people can ask question during the presentation, so we can
Yep,
answer directly.
yep. The audience can
So,
also drop the question in the chat. Okay,
Yep.
have fun there and Bayu. Bye bye.
Bye. Have a nice trip, man.
okay, so are we ready to start? I think we can start now.
We can start.
see
Let
my
me share
camera?
my screen. Yeah, I can.
All right.
Very
All
nice
right.
background.
All right. Thank you. Okay, maybe.
I actually can't share my screen for some reason. Can you check my permission on the channel?
Wait.
Yeah, no, I can't.
Hold on.
I still can't.
Wait. So can you share your screen?
Still not working, man.
It's still not working.
Wait,
Wait.
let me check its permission from my MacBook. Let me check.
Yep. Okay. Is it still not possible?
Uh,
I think your mic is still muted.
yeah, I'm asking if you are able to share your screen.
I think I'm able to share my screen fine. Uh,
to get your hand on. So you have IDOR, which is unsecure direct object reference, XSS, privilege escalation, broken access control, information disclosure. So let's start. IDOR, which is unsecure direct object reference, it's basically, let's say you are logged to the server and you are going to your profile. How does the server sends you the details of your profiles? So to the server, a GET request to the API/user/123/profile. Here, 123 being me, it's my profile. So the server is gonna answer with name Daher because it's mine. But what happened if you change the ID from 123 to 124? If the server answer with a 200 response and show you the details of another user, that's an IDOR. And here you can find nice bug. As you can see, I've showed for each bug class some picture of my report. Unauthenticated IDOR to view these details, 15K. Unauthenticated IDOR to view users, 15K. So basically, these two bugs led me to take over account. So the users was led me to view other user passwords. And the first one, I could see all details of deals, so credit card details and transaction information. It was a very simple IDOR, nothing very fancy. It was just a basic request like this one, just a gate slash ta 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 ta. I just changed the ID and I was able to get the details. But how did I find it before the others? So I found it before the other because the API was very well hidden. So people had to reinforce a lot. They had to do a lot of recon to find the API, and they couldn't do it, and I didn't. That's why I was able to find this very simple IDOR before everyone else and get 30K. Let's go to the next slide. Where to hunt for IDORs. So basically, you want to hunt for IDORs any place where there is IDs, anywhere. If you see ID in the URL parameters, IP/user ID, you try IDOR. Request body, if it's a post request, if it's request and you see ID, you try here. Inside the headers, if you see any ID, you try IDOR. File path, which is have/upload such user such avatar, you can try here too. People, a lot of the time, they skip this part, but later I will show you how I got the 20K bounty because the URL was on one point to see banking checks. And by just trying a simple IDOR, I was able to see all bank checks, of the users of the application. So basically, for IDOR, wherever you have any ID, check for IDOR. No matter where it is, URL, headers, post body, even response, everywhere, if there's any ID, try for IDOR. Next bug, it's XSS. So I think a lot of you might already know XSS, which is cross-site scripting, but actually it's just an HTML injection. People call it XSS, but it's just HTML injected to the page. So we have two types of XSS. We have the reflected XSS, which is payload and URL and request reflecting back into response. It requires the victim to click the link. Reflected XSS are considered as medium severity. Meanwhile, stored XSS payload safe in the database execute for every visitor, higher impact. Stored is considered as high because for stored XSS, you don't need any user interaction. For reflected XSS, you will need to send the victim a link and he has to click on the link and get the XSS. Meanwhile, for the store, it's stored inside the database. So for any visitor who visits the page, he will get infected by the XSS. Here you can see a stored XSS I got and I bypass ACMI 2.5K. So for any XSS for reflected and stored, it all depends on the context of the application. It's all about the context. Let's say you have a request and the value of the request is reflected inside HTML. So here, user input. Here we are inside HTML already. So we can just inject XSS payload here. So image source X on error equal alert 1. Since X doesn't exist, it's gonna go to the error at point alert 1. You can have XSS inside attributes. So input type, input value, and the user input is reflected inside the value. So here, what is the difference between the first and the second one? Here we have to break outside of the current attribute. So we have to close, as you can see here, we have to close the double quotes here. We have to close it first and open a new tag and inject XSS. You can have XSS inside JavaScript. So var x equal user input inside the JavaScript variable. So here we can just write the XSS payload inside. So we can break outside of the variable here by double quotes, semicolon, and send alert 1. You can also have XSS inside URL href. So href user input. Here we don't need to break outside of anything. We can just enter JavaScript double dot alert 1 inside here. And when the user is going to click on the href, the A tag is going to pop up alert 1. You have a lot of other XSS like DOM XSS, etc. But it's a little harder to explain. So first, it's good if you focus on that. Next, we'll have the privilege escalation. So privilege escalations are two types: horizontal privilege escalation, the vertical privilege escalation. So let's say you are part of an organization. So you are not the admin, you are just a regular employee of users, and you got invited to join an organization. So if you are able to get a bug to have the same privilege of another user, that's called horizontal privilege escalation because you are able to get the data of or the privilege of another normal users. If you're able to go from normal user to admin, that's called vertical privilege escalation because here you went from a simple user to admin. So you escalate to higher role, while the horizontal you just access another user's data. This is the difference between the two. And most of the time, the vertical privilege escalation is have the highest impact. Here you can see I got by the privilege escalation, I was able to get an odd bypass leading to all users able to over 2.5 day. By the way, all the book I'm showing you, they are all on public programs. So like very old programs, like over 3 years, the program exists. So it's very well tested programs and all these bugs existed on the program. So it's not really not hard to find bugs. Next bugs, broken access control. So sometimes you will have bugs to show you. Let me open burp. So sometimes you will have a request to /admin, which will return 403 forbidden. So you don't have any, you cannot access /admin. But when that happens, you can just brute force /admin /anything. And even if /admin return 403 forbidden, you can find inside the same directory endpoints that return a 200k. So /admin will return 403, but /dashboard will return 200k with the data. You can have such users like delete /config. Meanwhile, /admin, sorry, return 403. Let me open Burp Switch so I can show you at the same time. So here, what you need to do is every time you have an endpoint that returns 403, you always want to brute force it. It's not because it's showing forbidden that it means it's not vulnerable. So you may have, later we'll see what worksheet is, but for now I will just explain to you. So we can have /site example .com/admin like this, and this is going to return 403 forbidden. And then you brute force, brute here, and you can maybe find /admin/dashboard, which will give you 200 OK. Just because the admin, the developer, sorry, not the admin, they thought, okay, we are going to put /admin we are going to exclude it from the WAF. So anyone who requests slash admin, he will get access denied. But they don't think about slash admin slash something here. So always brute force the path and you may find a lot of stuff. As you can see here, I got, this was a very similar bug than this. So the slash admin returned the 403. I brute forced and I got an endpoint that leaked million of P22. So P22 means information disclosure. So it means name of customers, address, phone numbers, email, etc. So anytime you see P2, P11, sorry, P11, it means private information, confidential information. 2.5T. So how do you test for broken access control? You remove the OAuth token or cookies. So sorry, when you test an application, let's say you are logged inside the application and you have the cookies set, admin equal, let's say anything. So you, what usually people do is they log into an application, they capture all the requests that the application sent, and then they try the same request by removing the cookies. And I can assure you, if you have like 200, 300 requests, you will find maybe 2, 3, 4, 5 requests that works without cookies. This is a broken access control. You want to swap user roles. This is vertical privilege escalation. Change role to admin to user or vice versa in the request body GWT. So a lot of application actually, when they want to check your role, they send something like role user. So if you are able to check to intercept the request and change from user to admin and send that to the server accepted, it's going to give you admin privileges. That's a broken access control. You will be able to access admin endpoints via regular user, use another user's token, HTTP method switching. So for the broken access control, you can't write anything that comes into your mind. There's no particular roadmap to broken access control. I've seen people who are able to bypass something just by putting backwards here. For some reason, it worked. No one knows why. Some people entered invalid values like this one. This is an invalid value. And that made the server crash and return the actual content of the page. So you have to be creative and to try everything that comes into your mind. Don't just limit yourself with what you see on Google and on Twitter. Be creative. Next, information disclosure. That's the one I talked to you about. So critical P11 disclosure, that was banking checks, 20K. Again, public program, well tested, over 400 hackers on it. So for information disclosure, you are going to mostly brute force the debug pages. I will show you later the word list I use. So slash debug slash trace like actuator, the slash elma.auv, the state traces, verbal error messages, the dot get slash the dot svn. If you find one of the two, it can link the whole source code of the application. That's very critical. You also want to open the JavaScript files and source maps and read the JavaScript files, and you may yesterday during the find the admin password inside the JavaScript files. So for any application that you open, you always want to check the JS pages, the JS files. You need to read the file. Reading the file will help you understand the structure of the application, of how the server receives the request, how it answers, all endpoints, all parameters, and a lot of time API keys. You also want to brute force for backup files. .back, .org, .swp, .env, .zip, .tar, .dart, .gz, .7zip, everything. You want to brute force. Next, I'm going to just show you the basic recon methodology. So what hackers do when they want to start on a new target? First step is to pick a target. So you choose a program on standoff. Very important, you read the guidelines. the scope, the rule, the out of scopes, the reward. So why do you read the guidelines? Because a lot of programs have some bugs that are out of scope. You do not want to lose any time on any out of scope bug or domain or subdomain and report it to them. They are gonna close your bug as informative. You are gonna lose reputation. You are gonna lose a lot of your time. You're gonna lose so much. Sorry. So you don't want to miss the guidelines. Very important. And the reward is good for you. Why not? If it's all good, you get the scope, the domain, the IP, the wildcards, and you can start from now. Once you have the domain, it's time for recon subdomain enumeration. There are many tools you can use for subdomain enumeration, Subfinder, AMAS, Asset Finder, TRT. So all tools you will see inside this presentation are available on GitHub. So you can check any tool here and just open, you just write GitHub Subfinder and you are going to find it here. Same for AMAS, for Asset Finder, and CRT.sh. CRT, it's a website. It's not a tool. So here you can write standoff365.com and it will show you the subdomains. As you can see here, you have the common names, magic identities, the IDs. Then you wanna probe the subdomains because when you get a subdomain list, a lot of subdomains are going to be either internal or they are going to be deleted, so they don't exist anymore. So you are going to probe the subdomains for a live host, tag detection, and port scanning. So I personally use HTTPX and to filter a live host, tag detection, and port scanning. Then I go to fuzzing. So I use dear search, puff, asset match. Later, I will show you all the tools and the worklist I use and how I do it. So the attack surface, you want to map all endpoint and parameters. So you want to crawl all subdomains. You can use Katana, you can Verb Suite, DASA2. So you also want to identify authentication mechanism. That's very important because if you have 100 subdomains, the most important data are hidden inside the subdomains that have authentication. So if a subdomain have authentication, it means it has sensitive data hidden and protected. So we're gonna be more interested on the subdomain that actually have any mechanism of authentication. It means there are something to find here. There are some sensitive data here, some information they don't want users to see. You want to check for all deprecated API versions. So this one, let's say you find an API which is slash site.com slash API slash v1 slash users slash v4 users. You can try either here. If it doesn't work, you can try from switching the version to version 4 to version 3. A lot of times the developers, they update the API version to a newer version, but they forget to disable the older version and it is not very secure. So you can try V2, V1. You can try any version. You can brute force to maybe V5, V6. So you wanna try all kind of version of the API. Even if the version 4 is secure, version 4 might not be. So check all of them. Then you wanna look for hidden parameters. So for this one, Burp Suite have a very effective technique. Somehow it's here, I think. So they have an option to unhidden the here, unhide hidden form fields. So you just click on it and it will check inside the HTML code source for any hidden form field and it's gonna unhide it and you will see it on the page. Because I found before I can't take over because there are some requests which were hidden inside the response. So when I say hidden, they are like this. So it's like this, and here and it's a comment. It's commented out. So what Burpsuit will do is anytime you find any comment, it's gonna delete the comment tags, and you're gonna see the actually what was hidden on the page, so you can test it. You wanna analyze JavaScript for hard-coded credentials, API endpoints on all kinds of endpoints. You're going to see it later during the live hacking. So let's go with Burpsuit. What is Burpsuit? So basically, Burpsuit is a Swiss Army knife for bug bounty hunters and anyone involved in cybersecurity, web security. What it does, it is a proxy interceptor. What how it works is it is like a man in the middle between your server, your browser, and the server. So each time your browser send a request to the server, Pursuit is gonna intercept that request and will be able to see in details what exactly is being sent to the server, and you'll be able to edit it. You'll be able to try all the bugs here. So luckily for us, there is a free version of Pursuit. So just so you know, there is also Kaido, which is good, but I am used to using Pursuit, so I'm gonna show you Bursa today, but you can use Kaido, you can use, there's another one, I forgot its name, so there's a lot of proxy interceptor. But Burpsuit is the most advanced one, and they actually have a community edition. So you can just find Burpsuit community edition. It's free to download, and you can just download it here for free. So once you download it, what you want to do, you want to configure the proxy to intercept it, install the CS certificate, and intercept your first request. So this is a prerequisite. You only do that one time, and after that you don't have to do it anymore. I will show you how to do it. So you have downloaded the Burpsuit 4 edition, the community edition, and you open it. It's gonna be like this. I have the professional one, but it's the same interface. So you are going to see the same interface as me. So I use Firefox to hunt, and most hunters do because it's easier to intercept requests. So I highly suggest you to use Firefox. First thing you wanna do is to download Foxy Proxy. So you just go to Google, you write Foxy Proxy Firefox, and you are gonna download it. So why is Foxy Proxy important? It's because whenever you want to disable the interceptor, you can just disable it here or enable it here. Once you install Foxy Proxy, you click on the extension, you go to options, and you go to proxies. You add a new proxy, title you put whatever you want. I put here Bobsuit, title Bobsuit, type you want to put HTTP. You leave all fields blank, you only need to fill the host name and the port. So you put the local host here and whatever port you want. Once you do it, you save, you hit the save button, and you can close the page. You click the extension and you click on Burpsuit. So now Burpsuit is activated. You go to Burpsuit, proxy settings, proxy, and you should see this. So localhost 8080. You can edit it to any other IP if you want. You can change the port too, and you click here to run the interceptor. Once it's done, you have to install the Burpsuit certificate into Firefox. So you open this http/burpsuit, you hit CA certificate, it's gonna download the certificate here. You go into the settings of Firefox, you write certificate here, view certificate, uh, authorities, import, and here you import the certificates that Burpsuit downloaded. So this one, you just click open, you click OK, and you're all set. You are ready to go. Once you do that, you will now be able to intercept any request. So I have activated the interceptor. I have started intercepting requests. As you can see here, I requested google.com and I can see in details all what's happening. So I sent a GET request to google.com. Here are my cookies, my user agent, the accept header, you got everything here. And you can also right click, intercept the response of the request. So if I hit that and I forward the request, now you can see the response. So Google answered with its 301, which we saw earlier. 301 is a redirection, so move permanently location to www.google.com. You have the body. We can here drop a request, you can forward a request, and we are all set up. So we can now start with the live hacking. Before we start with the live hacking, does anyone have any question? Who said gov.ig? What's gov?
If you have any questions, just type it in the chat there, guys.
Yeah, guys, before we start the live hacking session, if anyone has any question, you can answer. Then go.
I think we'll wait for like 2 minutes.
Yeah, let's wait for a few minutes and
Yes.
let's see. Actually, I will in the meantime also send all GitHub's repo of the tools. So this is a Finder, MS, show MS, GitHub MS. This is MS. I will also send FUF. FUF, you will see guys later, it's for fusing, for brute forcing. Asset not word list. Asset not is the word list I use. It's a very good word list. And checklist word list. Also send you checklist. And let me see if I've forgotten any. Oh yeah, you need also link finder. Secret finder, GitHub. Did I forget about anything? I will also send you the link of the Brexit Community Edition for anyone who wants to download it. Yeah, you can share, man. I made it for you. You can share it. Okay, I think I sent everything, and I think there's no question, so we can carry on with the live hacking session, right? Should we continue, Bayu? Okay, so let's go on. So here we'll use the standoff platform. Let me put the real version. So I sent you also in the chat standoff the link of the standoff.
You guys can access the standoff website in the chat, guys, if you want to join.
Okay, I've sent it to you. Let me show you how it works. So inside standoff, you will have slash program. Okay, programs are here. What are the programs? And oh, here, bug bounty programs. You also have the disclosed reports. You have the user leaderboard. So as you can see inside the user leaderboard, I'm actually top 84, I think. No, that's for all time. Uh, these are the disclosed report of the users. They are free and you can read it to understand more. Unfortunately, some of the reports are actually in Russian, but you can translate them. So let's go. First thing you wanna do is go on the program you want to have open to participant, no, not open to citizen of any country, which means we can hand on it. And you will have here 11 pages of programs. All of them are open for everyone. So we can hack on any of them. We're gonna to pick the standard program because we don't have any rights to show any attack on another program. So standard 365, you have the description, you have the scopes. So the scope says when you see this dot, it means any subdomain is in scope. So we can this subdomain, so mail, chat, VPN. And this guide is why it's important actually with the scopes because if you don't read the guidelines, you will find a bug here. Take your time to report it, and it will get closed as informative, out of scope, and you will lose time and reputation. You have here the program for testing. You have rewards, so actually they pay up to, as you can see here, 250 to 1 million. 100,000 Russian ruble is 1.2k USD. So 1 million is actually $12,000. So if someone can find any critical bug, they pay up to 12,000 US dollars. If you find any low, $150, you can go up to 15k, etc., etc. So no reward will be given for Next.js, SSRF, reporting and security scanners. So this is mostly for AIs. Sorry. So here we see all the out of scope bugs. Any 0 days, this is normal. So requirement to participate over 18 years old application. So we've read everything. You can grab the scope. What I like to do when I have a new scope is to open the terminal. I will just embed here. I will just create a new folder called presentation. So what I like to do is to create each time a new file to keep track of what I do. So here standoff. I open standoff. I put here domains. I put here the domain. So we have the in-scope domain, and we can start by running subfinder. So subfinder dash G, and this is a list of domains. So as you can see here, subfinder only found, oh no, sorry, it's L. So dash G is to input a single domain here, and dash, why is not working? Oh, check why. Oh, it's dash list. Okay, so you can use dash list domain. As you can see here, enumerating subdomain for standoff365.com, and we're just gonna wait to show you the output. As you can see here, we got 70 subdomain, only using one tool. Just don't forget, you don't have to only use one subdomain enumeration tool. You want to use a lot of tools, gather all the subdomains found, and you will have a lot more subdomains. Because one tool can never find every single subdomains of the domain. But now we're just gonna use Subfinder for the presentation. Just tell you. So now we have 70 subdomains. Let me just save them into subdomain.txt. And we can already see the subdomain name to find interesting names. So we had the partners, not very interesting. So here we want to look mostly for like admin, we want to look for API. Portal is very interesting, meaning there's something hidden behind. Voice can be interesting, API very interesting, chat interesting, OAuth interesting. This file is done. You can check here subdomain. Now we want to run HTTPX on it. The arguments I like to use is dash tech. It will show us the technology of each subdomain. Dash sc it's for the status code. Dash titles and dash p we want to check for port 8080 8443 443. Let us why is tech not okay, let us remove tech and we want to save them inside probe. No, it's gonna show us, as you can see here, each subdomain, the response of the subdomain. So that's why you've seen inside the presentation the different status codes. So here we see layer 404, 301 meaning it's redirecting us to another location. You have the 403 or TNT. You don't want to miss the port, guys. Very important. You have to check for the top, say top 100 ports. Now that we have everything, we can now start by probing for what's important for us. So let's take bb.standard. So we send we create the subdomain, and as you can see here, it will automatically get added to the target sitemap inside Burpsuite. So it is here. So actually, Burpsuite is intercepting everything the server is sending to the browser and vice versa. So later we can check it. So what we like to do is just navigate, check. I can't show you the reports now. What I can do, check the disclosed reports. So we just navigate and you will see here all the requests that are being sent. So let's start with the actual hacking. We are on this page. What do we do now? First thing to do is to check the page source. So why do you want to check the source page? Because you want to check for any JavaScript files. So you have guys to be careful because when you check the source codes of the page, we want to skip every polyfills because these are default Next.js files. They are not useful at all. They're very useless. So it's a loss of time to check this. So every polyfills we skip. This Mindbox third party we skip. Webpack we skip. Framework we skip. And that's interesting. So every time you see main or app, this is very interesting because it has actually the website structure. So what you want to do here is to start to read the whole code to understand the structure of the request. What we do with it when we don't have a lot of time is link finder. We run link finder on it. It's gonna extract all the API calls from it. So as you can see, it has like these calls here. You can see nothing very interesting. So we check also secret finder. Secret finder is gonna check for any secrets inside the JavaScript file. Heroku APK is a false positive. You can check it here. Yeah, just a false positive here. But these two tools are very important, the link finder, the secret finder. It's gonna help you automate the extraction of links inside the bulk JS maps. You can also run it on the page link finder /h, as you can see here with G. So you can just put the domain. It's gonna input a file. Okay, /I. Okay, so you just put the domain and it's gonna grab all the GS files for that domain and automatically run link finder on all GS files. So it found this, we've seen it before, Oracle.js, and these are the GS calls it found, but this is not it's for my inbox, not for standoff, don't care about it. So we skip it. Here the framework, not interesting. The main.js, the one we've seen right now. Nothing app.js, very interesting. As you can see inside app.js, it shows us the calls. You have the access rights, the game portal, you have the stuff. See, this is very interesting because the link finder showed us that there is a slash staff here. So the staff endpoint, it's most likely for the stand-up employees. We'll check it later. You can also check it from here. We get it, and we check for slash staff. And from here, we can see slash staff. We can read it and understand how it works. So get Ansible report on. Okay, so as we can see here, the staff are able to download, any reports and to standard for a program. You can see they have slash API, slash staff, slash export, and report. This is a report ID. So we are gonna take all this and test them for privilege escalation and IDOS. We also can see from here we have education slash admin, everything that has admin inside very interesting. We have slash menu, slash add user, slash user feedback. We have slash education again, slash admin. We have the, what do we have else? Okay, let's for now focus on what we have. So we had the staff link. So we are gonna open it on a new tab and intercept it using Bobsuit. So why we do it? Because we want to know to see how the server is answering to us. So slash staff, right click, intercept the response, you forward it, and we have a 404, which means there is some, or we got the path, the endpoint invalid, or there's some authorization checks that are being done on the backend. So want to right click here, send to repeater, and what is repeater for is it's easy for us to just manipulate the request and directly see the response request inside Pursuit instead of every time going here, writing, going back to proxy, checking. Here we got it very easy. So we can just try slash staff here, 404, slash staff slash 404, which means the staff is being hidden somewhere else. Let me check what it's okay here. I think I've tested it before. So let's try here. So slash staff, and we intercept the request. We go. Okay, as you can see here, we go 404 slash admin. Okay, slash admin actually returns standoff admin, which is very interesting. So we want to copy this and check here what is happening. So proxy intercept off. Okay. As you just saw here, guys, it loaded the slash admin and then redirected us to slash 404, which means the server first received slash admin, then it did a authorization check to see if us, like the user, the hair is allowed to check the slash admin. The server saw that we are not allowed and redirected us to slash 404. So we want to request it again, but this time intercept and check how the authorization check is made. So here we forward, we intercept the slash admin. As we can see, we have a lot of noises we want to just ignore. Okay, slash admin, we forward. Okay, so as you can see, it's sending a request here too. Okay, so we have found where the API is checking the permission to access slash admin. So here we have a post request sent to slash admin bug bounty slash API bug bounty permission resources many limit one, and we have the requested permission. So we have requested this partner admin, the server manager. We have requested all this. So first thing we do is always send one request to repeater for later, and then intercept the response to the request. And we can now intercept all the responses. And this is my profile. Get the roles. So slash bug bounty slash roles. We intercept all of them. And we can see how the server checks if you are admin. So we can just go through all of them and check those. Game portal, resources, scoring, user profile. Well, okay, so what's interesting here, guys, is as you can see here, these are all the permissions the API has. And these are the permissions that my user account has. So this is my account and my user ID, and my permission are hackers only. So what can we do here? We have to think like a hacker now. My roles are only hacker, but here it gave us all the permission available on the server. So we are going to copy all permission and try to put them inside our permission. So here we have hacker. We want to see we have partner, we have program, we have vendor. So we're gonna edit response and add admin, add partner, add vendor. What else can we add? Trader. We can add also trader. We can also add. We already added vendor. Program. Let's add also program, and we can forward all the requests now. Here we forwarded. All done. For. So what that actually shows us is that the standoff API is very well secured because it's doing a double authorization check. So it firstly checks the authorization on the client side, and then it checks it again on the server side. So I think some hacker already found that bug before, and now they fixed it. And this is why there is a double authorization check on both hacker side and server side. So that didn't work. So what the next step? Next step for us will be we know that slash admin exists. So we want to brute force slash admin. So we go on, we use either file or dev search. I will dev search. When you are brute forcing, guys, be careful to not send a lot of threads. When I use 5 threads, and here I put here I want to, the target I want to brute force, I hit enter, and it's going to start the brute forcing. As you can see here, this return 403, and you are gonna check it later. Not want my IP to get banned, so I will just stop it. Also, you want to brute force using FOF. So FOF is like the go-to tool to brute force everything. You can brute force post parameters, guest policies, everything you want. And the roles I actually use, so FOF -u, you put here the URL you wanna brute force /fuzz, Fuzz is a placeholder where you want to brute force, so you can either brute force inside the URL or you can slash a post. You can say it's a post body and you want to brute force the parameter here. So you can brute force whatever you want. Here we're gonna say slash admin slash fuse. For the word list, I'm gonna use where did I put this? No, set list. No, word list, checklist. Okay, I sent you the link of the checklist word list inside the server. So checklist is a collection of word lists used based on technologies and what you want. So here, if you check, you can have all the password orders, payloads, messaging. So what we want now is discovery. So discovery, you have the GNS, the file system, infrastructure, mainframe, web content. You want web content? Yes, and these are all the word lists that you have. I mainly use the Raft word lists, which are very good. So Raft large directories. So you put it here. Let me just here. Okay, so we set the placeholder. We set the word list we wanna use. -C to colorize output, so it's nice for our eyes to see. You can also specify the extension you want to use. So the extension is based on, let me show you. Oh, we got banned because of the fusing. Nice. The extension you always want to. I use Webalizer extension. So whenever you are brute forcing any website, you want to brute force depending on the technologies used by the application. So if the application is using PHP, you will fuse brute force with .php extension. If it's on the Microsoft server, you want to brute force or ASP, SPX, etc. You can see that we are using React, React.js, Next.js, Mindbox, Sandry, Striper, Tailwind. So there will not be any .php files. So it's useless. So here, specify extension. We want slash .txt, .html, .zip in case we find any backup files, and that's all. And dash AC. AC is the auto calibration. So basically, it sends a few requests to the server and check how the server behave and output the results based on the server's behavior. You hit enter. As you can see, I'm gonna stop it because we're already banned. As you can see, we send the get method to the URL. We use the word list Raft large directories. We use these extensions. Follow road directory set to fault, calibration 2, timer 10, spread 40, and response statue you want. So basically that's it. But let's go with other subdomains. So we go back. We had no luck with this subdomain, so we can go back and check for other. We can check for mm, Axe. What is it? G3. Okay, here we have a hack page. It doesn't seem interesting at all, so we're gonna just intercept and check what is happening on the background. So here you can see, well, it's not sending any interesting request. So for my part, I'm going to skip that subdomain for now because I don't see any interesting data here. So I'm gonna continue. Um, Host is interesting, but let me check. Okay, host is redirecting to. Okay, let's translate to see what it is. Vulnerable services, what to do. Okay, again, it seems like a static page. We don't want static page. Okay, here it's interesting. if you check the download template, it gave us this this link. So it's actually as you can see inside the subdomain name, it's storage. So it's at the storage of the positive technology. So here we also want to brute force here because it's a storage. So maybe they store inside that bucket any sensitive files. So you want to check it. Also, let's continue. Yep. Let me check the APIs. Okay, so inside the HTTP history, we're gonna search for API. It's gonna show us all APIs. We filter by host here because we only, okay, we have a lot of API from here. Okay, so back to the API, what you also want to test is the, we want to test for LFI. So LFI, we want to have a path traversal. So we can try to here, forbidden. This is accepted. Okay. Okay. So here we also want to brute force for a path LFI payload GitHub. Okay, we can have a payload list from here. And okay, so when I told you about the technology, so if it is a Windows server, you're gonna be using the Windows files. If it's a Linux server, you're gonna be using the Linux files. So here we have all the Linux files, and we also have the traversal.txt. So these are the bad traversals that if that attack succeeds, it will give us internal files. So we want to copy everything like this, and we send that request to intruder, and here we paste our payload list, and we check this, and we start the attack. It's gonna test everything. And from here, if you get any 200 response with the etc/password content, you have a path traversal which is critical. So let's move on. So now let me tell you how I do for like mass hunting on a lot of targets. So when you are focusing on one target, it's easy. You only have like 70 subdomains. It's possible to do it manually. But when you have thousands of subdomains, how I do it is same step. I use subfinder. I save the result into a subdomains. Then I use HTTPX to probe for all valid subdomains into a probe. And then I use Katana. So Katana is a web crawler. What it does, it simulates user visiting the page, and it captures all the requests and saves them into a file. This is very interesting for us. Let me tell you why. So we are currently doing the standoff hacks here. We are banned. I forgot about that again. Okay. Oh, wait, what happened? Okay, that's very interesting behavior because we are banned here, but in private window, we are not banned anymore. So that means the server is banning us depending on the session cookies, and we can use that as you can send a report like this. Okay, we are not banned. Okay, so basically you can send that as a report because the WAF is actually only banning user based on the session ID, the cookies, not the IP. So we are able to bypass how the backend ban users. Okay, so where I was going was we are actually doing the hacks, standoff hacks. As you can see here, I've sent myself 21 report. They are still ingoing, so we don't have the report yet. And inside the standoff hacks, we have like 6 programs in scope. We have like 1,000 subdomains. how to hunt on 1000 subdomains all at once. So what I do here, okay, what I do here is once I have the probe file, I run katana on all of them. So when I run katana, let me check the message. Sorry. Sent me a message. Okay, so we have 15 minutes left. Okay, so I'm just going to show you a few bugs and go. So we have the probes, which the probes have all the subdomains. I use katana, and katana I use on the dash list probes, and I let it run for 10 hours, 20 hours. What it's gonna do is it's gonna let me check the event. I don't know if I can show you. Uh, okay, as you can see here, there's my domain list, my probe list, my report, my subdomains. So when you run katana on all of them, it's gonna crawl all of the subdomains. It's also gonna go inside every JavaScript files, grab all requests inside JavaScript, and it will give you an output with all the URLs found, and you will be able inside, maybe you will have an output of 10,000 lines, 20,000 lines. You can just cut the tree and grab for any interesting pattern. So you will grab admin, you will grab internal, you will grab dashboard, and from the URL list, you will be able to find all the APIs that you want to focus on, all the admin endpoints you want to focus on, all the, maybe some people are focuses more on ASPX application. So you can grab for all ASPX files, you can grab for PHP files. So this is my way of doing it. And before we stop, I want to show you guys a few bugs. So we use XSS file branch. I want to show you some XSS here. Um, body. Okay, so let's take this one. So we have a link. We have that reflector, that body QA. First thing I always do to check for XSS is to enter XSS access, check the page source. We can see that XS is reflected inside the body, right? So let's use the repeater to go faster. So here I say XS. Okay, it's inside the body. Now we want to check if the server sanitizes the characters, if it's vulnerable or not. I'm going to put a bracket with bad request. We receive a bad request. What can we do to bypass that? Let's try to encode the bracket. So this is the encoded version of the bracket. As you can see here, I encoded, boom. As you can see, it reflected in the response. It is not encoded anymore. So maybe we can close the body tag. So slash body like this. So I will just encode it for you. Body. As you can see here, we're able to. Okay. So we were able to close the body tag here. So we can now open a new tag called, for example, script alert document.domain slash script like this. And we also want to encode it. Where's the decoder? Let's encode it. URL encode here. So this is just a tool to encode HTML encode. We hit encode. We have the encoded version. We copy it and we paste it here. Perfect. As you can see, our code was injected into the response. So we can copy the URL and try it here. Boom. As you can see, we are able to fire XSS. So you can report it already like this. So what's the impact of XSS? XSS, you can install keyloggers, you can open someone's camera, you can download files on his computer, you can install crypto miners on the inside the people's browsers. There's a lot of impact. So reflected XSS is considered as medium, but if you can get a better impact, it's high or critical. Let's see another case here. Have the parameter body here. This one is not interesting. We have the title. Okay, so here, as usual, you always want to see where it is reflected. So A is reflected inside a title page. So we need to close slash title first. We close the title and we can now just open the sorry sorry guys, I'm back. Okay, and here we can now inject the XSS. Normally the script alert one script. That happened because we closed the title first. So as I showed you inside the slide, every XSS set depends on the context where it's reflected. You don't have to rush things. Always take your time to check every context, how it handles with or not. So you have to be very careful. And let me just before stopping show you a few extensions I use on the website. So you will have the where's the App Store extensions, the App Stores. Okay, so a few extension I use GS Miner. It's not available here. JS. Let me check which one. Oh, JS link file. And what that extension does is you just browse normally the pages. So you just open pages normally, you continue working. And in the background, it's going to take the URLs and scan them in real time for you. So once you are done, you can just come here, check it, and it will. It's just GS, the link finder we saw earlier, but it's the PubSuite extension. So it's the same thing. Also, what you wanna do when you finish working, always check the HTTP history for secrets, your secrets. Sometimes you find any interesting secret leak you want for admin. You wanna check for APIs. APIs. Okay, so you wanna just go back, always go back to the HTTP history and check for new stuff. And you are going to stop here. So if anyone has any question, we can answer the question. So
Okay,
guys, I will
guys.
let you hop in and handle the question for me, please.
Okay, thank you, thank you. Okay, guys, now we can move on to a quick Q&A sesh, I guess. Oh, there's a few questions in the chat, I think.
Okay, we have the first question from
Here's
Ursiad.
chat.
Which courses, if any, did you take to learn bug bounty hunting? And are there any other useful bug bounty hunting tools? Okay, so to answer the first part of the question is, I am 24 years old. I started when I was like 13, 14. So I kind of learned growing up. So just creating applications. So when you create application, you understand how they are made. So I have a kind of not normal parkour inside this industry because I've not taken any courses, any classes, nothing. But if I want to give you advice on how and where to start, I would tell you the best way to start is to create application. So just take any idea, maybe build a store application, a, an application to a fake application to sell stuff, to rent cars. The idea behind that is that when you build application, you understand how applications are made, and then you understand how to work them. A lot of people nowadays they just start bug bounty hunting with no background, which is totally fine. But you don't have to rush things. If you have no knowledge, start by learning the knowledge. If you wanna be the best hunter, you want to understand of the back end of any application. Actually, you can find a few bugs with no knowledge at all, but you will never be in the top hunter, and you will get blocked at some point. At some point, you'll be like, okay, I'm blocked. I'm not feeling any more bugs because you don't actually understand the back end of the application. When you have a SQL injection, why do you have a SQL injection? What is happening in the back end? Uh, Learn SQL queries, learn JavaScript, learn to build application, and once you're good enough, I will suggest you all guys to with all ISP, which is the training. It's an academy, a very good academy for to learn the basics. It's a port trigger maybe. Academy. I don't know which one is it. Okay, so here I will send you the link. So I sent you the link in the chat. The Portugal Academy is a very good academy to learn the basics. It has every bug I showed you. It has a class for each bug and a lab too, so you can learn from them. And then they have a lab where you can train your skills on it and test your skills in the lab. It's very good. Once you come past this one, my brother Hussein has a Udemy course for advanced hunters. So I will not tell you to take it now because it will be very useless for you. So start with the Portugal Academy. First thing. Second thing, you have to build application to understand the structure of infrastructure. Then I will tell you to learn JavaScript. You don't have to be the JavaScript master. Just learn to read JavaScript code and understand JavaScript code. It's very important. I mainly use, yeah, you said you used Portugal, very good Portugal. Let's use that. Any other useful bug hunting tools? To be honest with you guys, 90% of the tools I use, I made them myself because um, the way I hunt on application, I have a special mindset and I have some private techniques that I can't share, but I have a lot of private tools. But all the tools that I made, they are based on free public tools. But the tools I've sent and showed you, I hid nothing from them. So all Subfinder, Amas, Linkfinder, FOF, I gave you all the tools I use with the word keys I use. So right now, I don't have any secret tool or word keys I've used to get all the bugs I've showed you in the PowerPoint. I've used the same exact tools and the same exact word list. So I don't have any, uh, beside the knowledge, I don't have anything more than you. So we have the same cards in hand, and it's just a matter of do you want to understand how application works and work it. That's all. Now, one more tool I want to show you guys that I forgot. Let me show it to you. Uh, the .git extension. .git extension, whenever you are opening a page, it checks in the background for dot here for dot git git/config. So I've talked about .git endpoint inside the PowerPoint. If you find a .git, you just use the git tamper tool here. So you install, let me send it to you too. So .git, if you find a .git endpoint based on what's inside the GitHub or GitLab repository, you can dump the whole code source of the application. So you download this tool and you run git-dumper and the website/git and the output file. And sorry, it will dump the whole repository. And when you are lucky, you will get the whole source code, credentials. And if you have the source code, basically it's just a big win because you just can just read all the codes to find more bugs. So if you have all the code source, you can easily send like 10, 15 bugs because you can just read the code and then find new bugs based on white box testing. So this is a very useful tool. So you just install it and just let it run. Forget about it and let it run. Another nice tool is, do I have it here? No? Yep, this one. So if any of you guys know Orwa Godfather, he's the one who showed it to me first. Do I even remember? Yeah, it's called the Find Something tool. So you can find it here. So this is similar to Link Finder and Secret Finder, but it's way better. And it's also real time. So you go to any page like standoff and you can just click on it. It will analyze the code source to get all pages inside, all emails it's fine, mobile numbers, GDGoC token, algorithm. And this is interesting because this means something was encoded. So you can check it later. Scientific information, it will. And guys, this tool is 1,000 times better than Link Finder and Secret Finder. 1,000 times. It's way better. You will find all path here. And for any path, you can just click here. Normally, it should copy the URL. Yep, normally you click on that. Not working for some reason, but you will find it later. So normally when you click here, it copies the URL where the file was found. So the JavaScript source, etc. You have here such API, add user, education, learning. So you have everything here. This is a go-to tool, like it's a go-to tool. Not a lot of people use it, but I found so many bugs using it, like a lot of bugs. So you can use this. Next question was from Yazid. Do you have any tips on learning source for someone to blockchain? Yep, so it's basically what we have answered before. Finish part trigger. I highly encourage you to build an application yourself. Guys, building application it change how I see application and how I approach application because it gives so many insights because you cannot break a website if you don't even understand how websites are made. That's nonsense. When I used to hunt without doing it before, and when I started, it gave me so many insights on how you do it and change how I approach target and how I do it. It's very nice. I mainly use Portugal is amazing, man. Continue with it. When you're done with Portugal, you can also hack the boxes. I don't really like hack the box a lot, to be honest with you guys. But I've seen people who are very interesting. What I would recommend you is once you're done with Portugal is to hunt on VTP target. So VTP target, they are easier targets. They don't pay bounties, so no money for bugs, but are kinda they are not very hard to hack. So you can learn a lot from the VTP target. So you can just write standoff VTP. You will find VGP target even on other platforms. HackerOne, Backroll, you have a lot of VGP targets. So not a lot of people hunt on VGP target. It's mostly beginners, so it's a very good place to start because you don't have the. If you start hacking on a program that pays 10k USD, you will compete with the top hackers because they want money. Instead, if you go first with the VTP target, the top hackers are not very interested in that, so they just leave it there, and you can exercise yourself. You can start on it and learn from it, and then you can move to smaller targets, which doesn't pay a lot of bounties. Then go slowly up, up, up. Also, what I want you guys to know is when you do bug bounties and security and general, no one is a master in all fields. When I hunt with my friends, in our team, we have one who is specialized in the authentication bypasses. One another is specialized in SQL injection. One is specialized on IESP application. One is specialized in Linux application. One is specialized on API. One is specialized on mobile applications. So you cannot be absolutely good on all applications. So I will encourage you to find what you like hacking. For some people, they will find the mobile application more interesting than web application and easier for them. Then go for mobile application. If APIs are easier for you, go for mobile for API servers. So just find where you are good and what do you like hacking and focus on that. Some people like PHP application. Focus on PHP. Excel, from your experience, how to manage it. Okay, so Excel, it's a very good question from Excel about the future of the bounty as long-term career compared to traditional. Okay, how consistent is the outcome? It is very inconsistent. You guys have to understand that when you are doing bug bounties, you will not earn 5K, 10K every month. No. And I will highly encourage you to not leave your current job to go full-time bug hunting. Never do that. Because first of all, bug bounty hunting is very like it can go up then go down for 2 months, can go up for 1 month. Like it's very inconsistent. So you can make 10K a month. The next 3 months you make nothing. And when you go 3 months without finding any bug, start to play on the mental. Oh, am I not good enough? The imposter syndrome, sorry. Am I not good enough? And a lot of people in this community have breakdowns. They are burnout, and it's very inconsistent, very, very inconsistent. What I want you to do is see that as a hobby. So keep your current job if you have any, and maybe on the weekend start doing bug punches. If you can make $200 a month doing bug punching, and you have another salary, that's very good. That's a lot of money. $200, a lot of money. And with experience, you will go up to 500, 1K, 2K. But don't stop your current position of our job because AI is coming too. And with AI coming, it is very unsure that bug bounty hunters will remain as good as they are now. A lot of AI will take the position of hunters. A lot of them. I feel like in the next year, some hunters will remain. And when I say only top hunters, also beginners can come, but you will have to think outside of the box. So if you look for the same bugs that an AI does already so well, you will just find duplicates. So you have to get your own methodology. You have to get your own techniques, your own bugs, and your own way of approaching the target. So please do not leave your job. Don't do that. I've been doing it for 10 years. I'm talking by experience. Don't do that. Second question, how the company actually value that much experience compared from education or certification? Um, it actually highly depends on the company. The good thing is today most of the biggest applications have a bug bounty program. So Google, Facebook, and all this. And when you are on their leaderboard, they just um, want to hire you. I've seen a lot of requests of companies telling me, "Oh, you are top one on our program. Just come work for us. I have no degree inside this industry. I have no degree. They just told me, come work for us. We will pay you that much money. We will give you that. So every company who has a bug bounty program, they are very open to that. They value that very much. But the companies that doesn't know about bug bounty hunting because they don't know how hard it is, they just see it like it's nothing. If you don't have any degree, they will tell you no. But I would say 70% of the company nowadays, they value bug bounty hunting very, very much. Like when you are a top hunter, it's very easy for you to get a position, like very easy. As a pen tester there, a developer, a security researcher. So it depends on the company, but 70% good results. The question, any more
Okay,
question,
Daya, I
guys?
think it's already time for us to stop the Q&A because I think it's already
Yeah.
very long Q&A session. Yeah. Okay, guys. So thank you so much everyone for the questions.
And just to add, I will just add my Twitter and Instagram. If someone has any question he wants to reach out to me,
Oh, sure, sure, sure.
I've put my Twitter and my the
Yes.
hunters. What is it? I don't even know what it is. So I've put my Instagram and Twitter. So if anyone has any questions and want to directly reach me, he can
Sure, sure,
continue
sure.
with the call.
Thank you so much. All right, guys. So you can contact via X or Instagram if you have more questions. And I'd also like to ask your time to fill in the attendance form for today's session, which also serves as the feedback form. Yes. All right, I'll give you guys around 1 minute, and then after that, we'll close the session with the documentation.
Guys, if anyone has any more questions, the time is already and I go back to my live hacking events. Next talk, we'll do some AI hacking.
Ooh.
Yeah, yes, Excel. That's why when you guys told me to do a live hacking event, I didn't really want to do it because there's so much to learn before like going into the wild. And obviously in 1 hour you cannot cover everything. So, but just to show you guys how it's how the reality is on the like on the field, I just show you the basics, and hopefully the next time we'll do like more and more. We'll go more into details, and maybe next time we'll show how to jailbreak AIs because during event you are doing, I got 4 reports, 4 critical reports of how I was able to jailbreak the company's AI and make the AI fetch his local files and give me the output of the file. So just tell the file, give me the source code of your page, and he give me the source code, give me your etc/password file, and he. So we will show hopefully some techniques of how we can hack AIs.
All right, guys, I think it's time for us to close the session here. So I guess we'll start with the documentation. So from activation, is it all good?
Guys, also register on stand up. I send you the link. Register for an account to start there.
Yes, yes. Documentation, is it already good?
I think it's all good. I think you can do the closing.
All right. I think I'll move on to the closing here because I think it's all good.
Yeah.
Okay, so all right. So thank you so much, Daher, and for the very inspiring and informative talk today. I think we learned a lot of things. And we also got a lot of like links for tools and also websites and also GitHub repos. Yeah, I think you guys can also use that for your learning, and if you guys want to pursue bug bounty, that's gonna be very, very helpful for you. So I think that being said, I think we've reached the end of the GDGoC UGM X Positive Hack Camp series with AfterNight, and we want to extend our deepest gratitude to our speaker today, which is Daher Mohammed, for providing such a rare and hands-on learning opportunity. So thank you so much for your dedication and your session today.
Thank you guys for inviting me. And the same, it was my pleasure to attend. And anytime you want, guys, we'll do it again.
Okay, so thank you so much. And on behalf of the entire organizing committee, we apologize for any mistakes or any technical mistakes. And we hope that this workshop has been very helpful for you all. So thank you so much. My name is Bayu, and I am signing off. And I'll see you guys in the next GGOC event. All right,
Thank you,
goodbye,
guys.
guys.
Bye.
Thank you so much for coming.